What's going on, everyone? LA Sports back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be previewing the Toronto Maple Leafs 2022-2023 season as it is beginning tonight as they get set to kick off the season in Montreal against the Montreal Canadiens at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm excited for that game as we're going to see what the new look Maple Leafs team is going to get ready to do. Matt Murray is going to be between the pipes with, of course, Ilya Samsonov backing him up. And this Leafs team has a, deep team that I don't think people see how deep they really are. But this is the deepest team I think they've had in quite some time. You take a look at, what their lineup looks like. Of course, the top six, we all already know what that is. We know, we knew going into the year what that was going to be. We knew going into the off season really what that was going to be. But it is now finalized. The Leafs lineups at yesterday's practice, of course, Bunting, Matthews, Marner. No questions there. There is a surprise on the second line, though. Nylander's on the left side this year. He usually was on the right side of Tavares. He's on Tavares' left side. And then Dennis Malgin is going to be on that right side wing on that second line. And I think Dennis Malgin's really earned this position. He's been in a spot where he's been playing great. Taking a look at his preseason numbers through 5 preseason games, he had 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 points. He got some time on the power play, scored a power play goal. He had 3 power play points. So, of course, that'll earn him a spot on that second power play unit. The first power play unit doesn't change from a year ago. It's going to be Tavares, Marner, Nylander, Matthews, and Riley. And then the second one, of course, Bunting, Kerfoot, Järnkrok, and Malgin with Giordano as the defenseman. And then to the bottom 6 forward core, Engvall, Kerfoot, Järnkrok, Zach Aston Reese, David Kampf, and Obey Kubel on that fourth line. And I think it's an interesting looking bottom 6 for the Leafs, and I really like what they've done with it. They've really put in a good amount of grit in that bottom 6. I think that fourth line is really, really good. Zach Aston Reese is a guy who played in Pittsburgh's top 6 or 9 just a year or two ago. So he has, a pretty good amount of experience with some good hockey players. And it's going to be interesting to see how he plays with David Kampf, who was really good for the Leafs. I think he was really, really solid with the Toronto Maple Leafs last year. He's in a contract year, so we'll see if the Leafs tend to or try to do something with that situation in his contract in mid-season. I think they will. I think they should. So we'll see what they do there. And then, of course, Obey Kubel. He signed that 1-year, $1 million deal with the Leafs. Of course, he won the Stanley Cup last year with the Colorado Avalanche. So he didn't really play much in that playoff run, but he played in a couple of games, and when he did, he was all right. So I think it makes a bit of sense. But I really like the grit on that third and fourth line. I think the third line could be gritty if they need to be, but at the same time, they could provide some offense. Of course, Engvall, we know what he can do. He's been here for a while. Same thing with Kerfoot, and then Järnkrok. I really, really like Cal Järnkrok. I think he's an extremely underrated player in this league, and I think that this Leaf depth could really be good. And then you take a look at what they have as extras in terms of the forwards: Nick Robertson, Adam Gaudette, Wayne Simmons. Those are the main ones. I think those are some really, really solid players when you factor in what the Leafs have in terms of salary cap and, really what's on the roster. I think those are some awfully good, extras to have in case of an injury. So hopefully there aren't too many injuries, but I think that the Leafs are really good in terms of depth this year. I really like what they've done there. And, of course, they still do have Kyle Clifford. He's in the minors with the other 3 guys that I mentioned, but those guys will be up and down. They'll be flipping up and down throughout the season. And then, of course, on the defensive side, Riley and Brody, we knew that was going to be probably the top pairing. It is. Muzzin Hall, I mean, I don't love Hall. I think he's I kind of really don't like Hall, but at the end of the day, you know, he's got some size. Hopefully he uses it. And then Giordano Sandin as that third pairing. I really like that third pairing. And then, of course, the Leafs still have Victor Mete down with the Marlies right now. Jordy Ben and Timothy Liljegren are on the long-term injured reserve. So when they get back, the Leafs will have some flipping around to do. And I'm sure that throughout the season, even if this top 6, 7, 8, 9 defensive grouping is healthy, there's going to be some flips around in the lineup on back-to-backs or you know, anything really where the Leafs could factor in some rest days or new defensemen. Moving over to success and in terms of what the Leafs will do this year, what I expect of them, I do think that they're going to win the Atlantic Division, and I think they're going to win the President's Trophy this season. Of course, there's the question marks between the pipes, but I do believe, you know, that ultimately they will be able to figure it out. I think Murray and Samsonov are definitely two good goalies. They've got some history. They do have a little bit of experience considering they're 25 and 28 years old. Samsonov is a restricted free agent this summer, so that's a good situation for the Leafs to have, where he's going to be playing really well in a contract year, but at the same time you hold control of his next contract. And then, of course, Matt Murray, we know what he's done throughout his career, and I think you know, I think the Leafs could definitely get stuff out of him. But like I said, I do think the Leafs win the President's Trophy, and I think Austin Matthews repeats as the Rocket Richard winner. I think he wins the Rocket Richard, scoring 60 to 65 goals this year. I think he's going to be able to play all 82 games, and I think he's going to be able to win that award. I think he is by far the best goal scorer in the NHL right now. I don't think it's close. You know, so I think Matthews does win that there. And I think the Leafs get over the hump, win a round in the playoffs, and then we'll see what happens from there. But I do think they get over that playoff hump and win a series in the playoffs. And then I think that's all the Leafs need to really go for a deep run. Once they do it once, I think they'll be able to do it multiple times and win more rounds and make deep runs in the playoffs. I think this Leafs team is going to really gel, see what's at stake here. Know they need to perform, produce, and I think they will do just that. I think they're going to try to keep this core intact with Matthews, Tavares, Marner, Nylander. I think these guys really enjoy being Leafs. We'll see what ultimately happens, but I'm really, really excited for this season ahead. And I want to know what you guys think about it down below in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on, you know, the Leafs season ahead. Preview it for me quickly. What do you expect of them? What do you think will happen? Let me know all that good stuff down below in the comment section. As always, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. See you guys all in the next video. And as always, go Leafs, go.